Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, and I want to post a review of my Rep Fitness home gym after owning it for many years. Now, I did have a brown recluse spider infestation, so now I've remediated that, so now I can really work out hardcore. But I want to tell you my experience with Rep Fitness equipment so far. So these dumbbells are excellent. Obviously, they're not rubber all the way through, but they're a rubber type coating, and they're a shape to where when they're on the floor, or maybe you sit it on a bench, it's not round, so it's not going to roll. Excellent design, premium feel in the hand, and you've got this, I guess you would call it knurling or whatever on the grip. It feels very nice. I'm not going to say this is commercial gym quality because I don't know. I'm not sure if it is. You can expand this video's description and click the link there for specifics. But I'll tell you, I've been a member of many commercial gyms in the past, and their dumbbells were nowhere near the quality of these. So I've got the dumbbells, and then of course, as you can see, I've got the dumbbell rack. As I mentioned previously, you can find all of this, expand this video's description and click the link there. Just an excellent set of dumbbells. They feel as if they should last me a lifetime. Then over here, I've got my bumper plates. They've got a rubber type coating, so they're a little bit quieter. Some people like the metal plates, and Rep Fitness sells those as well. But I like the rubber coated, the bumper plates, just because they're a little bit quieter and they look nice. And I've got them on this tree here. I got my Rep Fitness. This particular one is the Gladiator bar, but they sell a variety of bars for bench pressing. So let's get over here to the main thing. This is the power rack. Now there's tons of customization options. You know, like I said, check the link within this video's description. I went with the 6-post, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I went with the 6-post power rack. Color is subjective. I went with red. I think it looks cool. Actually, I think it looks awesome. You can add, which I haven't, and I probably won't because I've got my bumper plate stored over there, but you could add an abundance of accessories to this power rack. You could add weight storage if you wanted to. Maybe you didn't want to go with a 6-post like I did. Maybe you add weight storage to kind of hold it down. This is able to be bolted into the floor. I chose to not do so. I don't want to bolt anything into my floor. You may need to, or you may want to, but without it bolted into my floor, this thing is perfectly stable. I mean, I'm not going to misquote and say this is commercial gym quality, but you know, as I mentioned, I've been a member of many gyms in the past, and their equipment was nowhere near the high quality of this Rep Fitness power rack. So these are called band pegs. You don't have to get them, but you can use them for bands, resistance bands. But what I like to use them for is storage of my cable attachments. One of the things I would highly recommend if you go with a Rep Fitness power rack is adding the lat pull down, and then also the low row. So you can do low. I can move my bench out of the way. And then down here, I've got the low row. So if you want to sit and do a row, I use various attachments. I've got, this is kind of cool up here, the lat pull down bar. While it's not in use, it's got a place to rest it. So that's nice for storing it. But I can use this for the low row. I can use a variety of different attachments for the low row. Likewise, I can do bicep curls, tons of stuff with the low row. And then of course the high row, I've got lat pull down, using my lat pull down bar. I like using this. The possibilities are somewhat limitless, you know, depending upon which cable attachments you choose to get. And that's the thing. I mean, this is just a standard. If you've ever been to a gym and used a cable machine, you know, gyms typically have tons of stuff. This right here I use for my tricep pull downs. They typically have a ton of cable attachments. You can use those same types of cable attachments. I mean, all it is the the handle, and then a carabiner. I mean, that's all it is. So I mean, you get an amazing at-home gym workout that is just as good, in my opinion, is paying a membership for to join a gym. And the problem with that, not all gyms are 24 hours. Some gyms are crowded at certain times of the day, and if that's the time you have to go, then you've got to fight the crowd. So not only do you have the commute to and from the gym, you've got the monthly or annual membership fee, whatever it is. Then you've got to compete with other people for equipment. Due to so many people using a commercial gym, the equipment there seems to typically be in a degraded state. So again, just another reason why I made the right decision. I mean, I built this Rep Fitness home gym, I guess it would have been back in 2022. I'm filming this video that you're watching now in 2025. So subscribe to my channel and check out my older videos and you can see. But I mean, this thing is, like I said, I'm not going to misquote and say it's commercial gym quality, but off the record, in my mind, I refer to it for myself as commercial gym quality. I mean, it's exceptionally well made. This right here is neat. These are, I've got my cotter pin in there. This would come out. These are safeties, and what you can do is position them. I've got them up top right now because I'm not using this for bench press. But see, if you're bench pressing, these right here are called the J cups, which is where you'll rest your bar. But then you can have these safeties. And there's a variety of different safeties you can get. I like the metal ones. They've got some that are more like a let's call it like a nylon seatbelt type material. But see, you position these here, and then you put your retention pin in. You put those there so when you're working out, doing bench press, that, if you overexert yourself, if the bar falls, it's going to hit the safety instead of landing on your chest. So that's kind of nice if you're working out in a home gym and you don't have a spotter. These are optional. I mean, obviously you don't have to use the safeties, but as I demonstrated, while they're not in use, it's easy to just pop this out. And put them up high so they're out of the way if you're doing chest flies with dumbbells, that sort of stuff. And this is just one quick example of how customizable this rack is. Again, you can customize the build of your rack. I mean, you don't have to have, like I've got here, you don't have to have the optional lat pull down and low row cable attachment. For me, it's a necessity because I always use the cables in the gym when I was a member of gyms. So I've got to have it at home, and this just works perfectly. It definitely does. But again, it's optional. I use plate loaded. I want to use the plates for my cable equipment. They've got an option where you can do what's called selectorized. So you can have a weight stack like you have in the gym and pull the little pin and select the weight. Personal preference. As I mentioned, this equipment is extremely customizable. They've also got an abundance of attachments, which, again, check the link within this video's description. You can find it all there. They've got some things called ISO arms, which is kind of like if you've been to a gym and you've used the machines for bench pressing. It's kind of like that. They've got cables where I've got the low row cable and the lat pull-down cable. They've got another attachment that goes across the top, and you can stand in front of the rack and do cable flies. Now, I don't have that installed, But the beauty of the Rep Fitness equipment is that you could always add attachments in the future. And the cool thing about Rep Fitness, they seem to be doing very well as a company, at least from my perspective. And by saying that, I mean they're releasing a ton of new equipment, a ton of new accessories. So it's always possible to further optimize your home gym. But the gym I've got set up is all that most people would need. I mean, I've got dumbbells, I've got bumper plates, I've got an Olympic bar so I can bench press, I can dumbbell press, I can do my arm curls. Not on camera here, which, well, I've got this bench, which you can do with this. You can do, you can set it to decline. So you could do decline. You could do decline sit-ups to some degree, although I personally prefer a sit-up bench for that. But for my dumbbell workouts, I've got decline. Then I flip this over. I've got flat. And then I've got several degrees of incline for my incline dumbbell presses. And then if you want to do shoulder press, boom, pretty much upright. So it's highly customizable. This has very nice wheels on it. So when I'm doing my low row with my cable system, I just slide this out and I put and this is optional, I put a mat on the floor so that it's kind of padded. I've got a concrete slab that's painted, but I put this down, do that, and then I roll this back up. And I use these little pegs, these band pegs. That's a great way to store my my workout mat while it's not in use. But just the quality, I mean the feel of the material on the bench, the quality paint job, again, it comes in a variety of different colors. All these holes, I mean, you can customize the heck out of this with accessories. Something I do want to add, which I haven't added yet, is called a landmine attachment. It goes to the bottom here, and you can use an Olympic style bar and do a variety of workouts with your bumper plates with that landmine attachment. So that's definitely something that I'm going to add, and I'll probably attach it here so that I can do my landmine workouts in front of the rack. Well, see, that's the cool thing about this. This is actually the side of the rack, but I can use the side of the rack depending upon how you've got it set up in your space. Now, if I had the optional cables on the top that go this way for doing cable flies in front, see, my space, I would probably want to be a little bit further out for my cable flies. So my setup is not optimal for that. But if I ever wanted to do that, I could reposition the rack and face it to where I've got more room in front of the rack. So, I mean, it's just an incredibly customizable piece of equipment. Again, take into account all the workouts that you plan to do when you assemble your rack. And then that way, that'll dictate, everybody's space is different. Speaking of that, this comes in different heights. This is the tallest version because I've got high ceilings here. But depending upon your space, you may need one that's not as tall. I mean, you can customize. This right here is the pull-up bar. You can use a variety of different pull-up bars. I mean, there's so many things you can do with this rack. But for most people that are familiar with working out, just with what I've got set up here, I mean, it's an incredible full body workout. So, I mean, there's not much that I cannot accomplish with this setup. And again, it looks nice. It seems like it's built to last. I have zero quality concerns. And what was nice when I was building this, I reached out to Rep Fitness, and I think they're based out of Denver, Colorado. Super nice, super familiar with the products. It's obvious that not only are they familiar with the products, but they spend a lot of time designing the products. So they have a very high level of knowledge. And when I was building my rack, I had some questions as a beginner, you know, things that, well, do I need to order this piece? There's this piece here called a rear base stabilizer, blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that come into play when you're customizing your rack, but they were able to provide very quick and thorough answers. So I built out what I believe, well, for me, I don't believe it is, for me, it's the ultimate home gym. And I'm able to, you know, I'm kind of fat right now because I took a vacation from the gym. I had a brown recluse spider infestation down here, and I've inoculated that problem. Subscribe to my channel, check out my separate video where I explain how I inoculated my brown recluse spiders. But now I've got it ready to roll, and I've got space, and I've got, you know, just an incredible, in my opinion, an incredible setup that is positioning me for just for big gains. And by big gains, I mean, well, you know, I want to get really back in shape again, because at the time of filming this video, although I've worked out on this quite a bit, I haven't worked out hardcore since about 2020, because 2020 is when all that stuff went on. You know, they closed down all kinds of stuff, and part of what they closed down was my gym, and the act of them closing down my gym made me lazy. So now I've got this home gym. I have no excuse, rain or shine. I get down here and get ripped again. So I am extremely happy. I know there's competitors out there, and I own some of the competitors' products, but I will tell you, Rep, and like I said, at the time of getting this, I think I got this in 2022. At the time of getting this, they were kind of a newer company at the time, so I kind of took a gamble. But, you know, like I said, after speaking with them, after, you know, obviously I didn't have hands on the product when I ordered it. I just looked at the photos, I researched this, that, and the other. But again, I'm not saying this is commercial gym quality, but if you get this Rep Fitness equipment, you're probably going to be like me and say, is it not commercial gym quality? This is not go to your big box retailer, spend a bunch of money for a junk home gym. This is high quality, built to last, in my opinion, better than the equipment that I've found in many of the gyms that I've been a member of throughout, you know, the past several years, or the past few decades, I should say. So super happy. Just wanted to post this follow-up video. I know if you've been a subscriber for a while, you've seen my Rep Fitness equipment videos before, but in my opinion, the follow-up review of a product is a lot more important than the first impressions review. And this is, I mean, it's all high quality. And speaking of that, the bench, the material, and even the little things that you know, rest your ankles on while you're working out, none of that material's come off. None of it is degraded. I mean, it's high quality material. So all, you know, from the paint to the steel to the upholstery of the bench, the rubber coating of the bumper plates, the knurling on the handles of the dumbbells, the shape of the dumbbells so they don't roll around on the floor, they're not round. I mean, it's all there, and it's apparent that this equipment was not something that was just thrown out on the market. This was well engineered and thought through by people that are obviously involved with working out. So it's not, there's nothing about it that feels, that's weird it was put together that way, or that's weird it feels that way, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is very high quality, purpose-built home gym equipment. Thanks for your viewership, and again, expand this video's description and click the links there to find where to order it online. You got any questions, comment below and I'll try my best to answer. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Iric Sky here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.